Hi, everybody. Sorry for being late a little, but I'm here and we can start. So as usually, let's start with some discussion of what is happening in waves right now. Some short introduction to the AMA, and then you can ask any questions. Also have some list of questions that have been prepared by the team. So we'll mix both questions from the list and your questions from the chat. So let's start with this summary of what is happening right now in Waves. Let's start with maybe good news. I think it's pretty exciting for the community after all those events that happened last year. Today, Binance removed that warning about USDN. And I think it's a good thing. It's not that it's something life-changing, but it's good, because finally we were able to have this warning removed. It didn't make any sense, but probably not everybody understood that, and some communities were worried about that, maybe Korean community. So I think it's a good thing. And I think it's good news. There is no warning. I think it should be good also for the Korean exchanges. It's good, so it's a nice thing. And let's move on maybe to other things that might be not so exciting. So what's going on? Otherwise, gateways, bridges on Waves Exchange. So the new bridges are being tested. The deployment time is probably around a week from now. We actually are doing some kind of final audit of the situation at the old bridges. There's some stuck withdrawals that are being processed slowly. Please bear with us. All the withdrawals will be processed. So it's a matter of time. And once we have launched the new bridges, I don't think we will face this problem in future. So please bear with us. My apologies again for the situation. What else? We have to, after good news, we have to remember about all those problems that we have. Virus. Actually, what is happening on virus? I think not much really. Vesting works. The amounts are not increased. But I think there's going to be some kind of relaunch of virus when we have the new bridges, because actually a lot of things in Waves ecosystem now depend on the new bridges, including virus. So give it some time. I think there's going to be some kind of relaunch of this. And virus token and virus functionality should do fine again. And actually, I forgot to mention a very important thing. This week, we have basically finished the rebranding of USDN. As you know, USDN is not a stable coin any longer. It's an index asset that reflects the value of a certain basket of Waves ecosystem tokens and maybe some other tokens. But to include other tokens, I think some kind of governance decision will be needed. So it's up to you guys whether there's going to be, for example, I don't know, Bitcoin in that index. For now, it's just Waves tokens. And as it has been explained, we will be adding some tokens as a donation first to increase the treasury value. And also there's going to be incentives for the community to add tokens. Maybe they will not work from the beginning, but eventually they should actually turn on and start actually working. So this is the plan. And I think the rebranding was pretty good. I understand that it's a very difficult situation, but very important thing here So USDN is not that, it's just like being rebranded into something new. And I think that it will have a new life, and it will stay there. So it's not gonna be like deleted, erased. It's gonna stay. And so now it's around 30 cents, but it's an index basically, yes. And because of that, its value doesn't have to be like restricted, limited by some like from above, so it can also be more than $1. So eventually, it can like grow in value. And in this case, I think this project will live, because it's just not a way to phase USDN out and kill it, but this thing has some meaning, and it should actually be sustainable. So if you're like unhappy that USDN is 30 cents now, I would recommend you to wait, basically. And if WAVE's ecosystem is doing fine, new index token will do fine as well. So it all depends on the future of waves, basically. If you believe in waves, I wouldn't recommend you to sell USDN or the index token right now. It's better to wait, because the plan has been announced, but we just start to implement it. And probably it's not a very good idea to sell until this plan has been implemented. So stay tuned, and there's going to be some incentives for holding USDN probably, or new index token, such as staking. Also, pools are working, so it's not useless, I would say. So you can still make some staking profits. So please see how this process develops in future. I think the plan is good, and as I said, it depends on the future of waves as a whole. So if you believe in waves, you should also believe in its index token, and it means that probably it's better to wait than to sell it right now. So what else? Yes, power. As you know, probably if you have been following our announcements, after the 5th of February, there's going to be a snapshot for power token airdrop. I think it's going to be actually done around maybe Monday, Tuesday next week, so we won't take too long with that. And as you know, to receive the airdrop, you need to have your waves out of centralized exchanges, because it's pretty complicated to do the airdrops to centralized exchanges. So you have to have your waves on Waves chain. Also, you can have your waves in liquidity pools. Also, you might have USDN, because it kind of has waves in its treasury as well. So USDN will participate in the airdrop. And on top of that, you could have WCT, our old token from 2017, community token. And as I posted on Twitter, WCT holders will receive the airdrop first. This is some kind of because it was kind of not very alive, WCT for years. And we want to somehow compensate WCT holders for that. It doesn't mean that there is some very serious advantage that they have, because all the other holders of waves will receive their airdrop in due time, and it will be based on a snapshot, on one snapshot. So, but in any case, I think it's nice. So you still have some time to withdraw your waves from centralized exchanges. And please note that a power token will be very scarce. And there is like 1 million in circulation in total, like diluted market cap, what is usually what it's usually called, like diluted market cap. But effectively, there's going to be like 10,000 tokens in circulation, because this is what the first airdrop is going to be, 10,000 tokens. And all the subsequent airdrops will be governed through the community votes. So if the community decides not to do any airdrops in the future, it can also happen, so, and it would mean that there's only 10K tokens in circulation, and that's it. So it's very scarce, and it should be very valuable. And on top of Power token and Power protocol, we'll build the Waves DAO. So if you want to participate in the governance on Waves, on the direction where Waves goes, basically, on choosing the projects which will be funded through the DAO, I think it makes sense for you to become a Power token holder. So don't sell if you receive the airdrop. If you want to participate, be engaged in Waves governance, in Waves community, it's better to hold it. And this is what we will be doing, actually. We will be building a Waves DAO, but I think there's going to be other DAOs built on the protocol, and you can launch your own. And in this case, you will definitely need Power tokens. So it's going to be valuable, scarce, and useful. It will have utility. So stay tuned. Snapshot will happen next week, and the airdrop will happen in batches. WCT holders will come first, and probably it will happen next week as well. So follow our announcements. So this is the description of the situation in general, what we have been doing last week, what problems we are facing, some good news, some not really bad news, but some kind of some kind of reminder of the problems that we are dealing with. But we are resolving everything, and we're moving forward. So guys, please ask your questions. I will check the list from the team first, and then I'll pick some questions from the chat. It's mixed bag of questions. One question, interesting, pretty interesting. When will you be starting the Waves Association DAO and donating the 15 million ecosystem tokens to XTN backing, index token backing? So Waves Association DAO will be started, I think, either right after Waves DAO. Waves DAO will be focusing on investment in different Waves projects, and Waves Association DAO will be focusing on grants. It's different things, so it's one is for profit and the other is non-profit. So either we launch them at the same time, or they will be launched in a quick succession. As for the $15 million ecosystem backing, I think there is some coding to be done for the final transition of USDN to XTN. And after that, we will be adding tokens one by one in batches. So this is going to be some kind of donation. So it's coming, I think, definitely in February. Not sure about the next week. I think it's like rather mid-February, so basically in 2 weeks. Next question, did all the exchanges remove the warning on waves trading now? I think actually only Binance had it. Bybit as well, but they removed it long ago. And Koreans will probably come around, and I think the situation will improve in Korea because we are actively working on it. We are reaching out to the influencers, and I think we have some traction now with the Korean community. Because as you know, we never had any kind of like marketing for Korea, and it's like it's a huge market, but there is some kind of like barrier, to enter such markets as Korea. You need to understand how this market, how this like crypto community in Korea works. There is some language barrier, so it takes time, but we have made great inroads recently, I think. Next question. What do you think about stable coins now that USDN is officially phased out? As I said, this is just the beginning, all the fun is still ahead. Okay, let me like mix some questions from the list and from the chat. Let me pick some questions from the chat. Have you talked to the various team about importing LP tokens? Yeah, I will do that, guys. Definitely. I'll get back to you at the beginning of next week. The situation should be somehow like viewed together with general virus relaunch, so we have to somehow like remove all the bad debt, separate it like into like separate place, and also have some like closure regarding the import and export process for LP tokens. And I think this is like some kind of like holistic process, so we should like resolve it all at once. And also we are waiting for the new bridges, so it will be resolved in February, I think, and we will have some like understanding how we should proceed with all those LP tokens, vestings, imports, exports, I think around next week. Who won the 10,000 waves? Hello, Nick. Actually, yeah, there is some contest on my Twitter, and we need to actually find that person. There is some like issue with like parsing the comments on Twitter, so we need to do some like parsing because there is some like changes to Twitter API, and basically Twitter, I guess, is canceling API access. There is a lot of things going on Twitter, but we will like do it. Like it's gonna take a couple of days, and next week we will announce it. And this week, like today, like we will announce our regular winner of 1,000 waves, a person who posted a tweet with Waves Army hashtag, and it should be like the top tweet when you do a search with this hashtag on Twitter. Some people complain that this is not a fair process to choose that person, and it might be the case. Okay, so I'm thinking how to do it like in a provably fair way, because it might depend, for example, on like some kind of correlation between time zones, between my time zone and the poster time zone, so there's some kind of like bias. And probably it's better to get rid of that bias. And I'm thinking how to do it like in a more like provably fair way, but let's do it last time, today, the way we did it before. and then we will come up with something else. Sasha, do you already vote for the duck of the year? Actually, no. I should. As for the ducks, so let me like discuss the ducks a little, because I talked to the team. I like talk to them all the time, so at least once a week. And I'm actually, so what the plan? So we have some ideas. So there's Duck Hunt, and it will move forward. Augmented reality game, mobile game, where you just walk around your town and you collect eggs. And this will move forward. But I think it's not the best moment to push it hard. So we will be developing this game as well, but parallel to that, actually, we will be developing also some improvements to our classical with Ducks game. And there is some like commitments from the team to the community, to the existing community, to finish something. There is like Duck improvement proposal number 6 that has to be implemented, and it's gonna take that like a couple of weeks. And after that, we will come up with a new proposal. We have discussed it. There's some kind of like changes to the egg issuance, to the egg inflation, and some ideas regarding new like types of animals. So I like that idea very much, and I think it can actually give a huge impetus to the duck game. So and it can help us reach out to other communities and engage other communities as well. But there is some like commitments regarding the last duck improvement proposal, and those commitments have to be met, so have to be like executed. And also there is some update to Duck Hunt. There has been some like bugs, and I think Duck Hunt wasn't ready for any external communities. Maybe some people in existing Duck community played it, but it was kind of like hard to understand what was going on there for people outside of like existing Duck community. And I think it's going to be improved, and we will push the Duck Hunt when the time is right, because we would need more budgets for that, and I think the general market situation should be better. But at the same time, I have some ideas, that don't require so much marketing budgets, and that probably could actually work out for us right now. Did you stake your XTN at Tsunami? No, actually, I didn't. I will take a look. Hi, Sasha, can you explain the soft pack in XTN? It seems like it's just going to be like any other token, completely subjected to market forces. Yeah, but it's an index basically. Yeah, and also, so it's like it's a soft pack to the value of the basket of some selection of Waves ecosystem tokens. So it does depend on like market forces, obviously. So, but at the same time, there can be like different tokens in the treasury, not only Waves. So it gives us some kind of like diversification. And there is not so much XTN in circulation. A lot of it is locked in Virus, for example. So I think it's like quite possible that the price will go up and will remain there, because the vesting is slow and there is not so like many new tokens coming to the market. And there's some balance between new tokens and the value of tokens that are already in circulation. So and if we actually move forward successfully, I mean, as Waves, as ecosystem as a whole, that will be reflected in the value of index as well, so. And for example, there's this like situation on Virus when there's a lot of like USDN or XTN now locked investing, and some users are asking to basically release it all in one shot, don't wait, just release it all and be done with it. It's possible, and actually now it's easier to do because now like Virus is fully decentralized and people can come up with their proposal and have the community vote for it. And there's some like proposal in Virus now to reduce the quorum percentage from 30 to 15%, I guess. And also when this proposal like is voted for, and if there is like correct code, which is like put up for the voting, then this code is implemented like automatically. So if Virus community really wants it, they can do that. Actually, they can vote to release all the XTM/USDN, meaning that all those like vesting limits will be lifted. But I'm not sure that it's a very good idea, guys. So I would actually vote against, because you will probably dump it all like immediately, and nobody's gonna benefit from it, basically. So I would still do that in batches, like gradually maintaining the value of the token. So I think in this way, if you're like not in a crazy rush, you will basically won't suffer any losses, But if you just withdraw all your locked XTN and dump it, the price will stabilize eventually, But you might be selling it like at a few cents, So why? And it's not gonna look good. We will survive this, obviously, but I just don't think that this is the best way for you to be like made whole, because obviously the selling pressure will be too high, and people will just be getting like 10 cents on their dollar, So, but why? Because we have been trying to make sure that people are being made whole since, I don't know, since April last year, So because if we hadn't had this plan, we could have just released all those USDN like long ago, but nobody would have been happy, I guess. So please think about it carefully. But as I said, now it is like in your hands. But I will vote against with some like weird tokens that I have. When will our withdrawals be processed? They have been processed like slowly, so it depends on when you made your withdrawal, but it will be processed. Everything will be processed. Good afternoon. Please tell me, Alexander, will WCT holders participate only in the first airdrop of the Power token or in the subsequent ones as well? The community will decide which token holders receive the subsequent airdrops. So the idea is to drop the first batch, and then you can actually launch the DAO voting mechanics. And now using those tokens, you can decide how you do the subsequent airdrops. That's the idea. So if the community decides that WCT holders should receive more tokens, it will be so. will you add more liquidity and when, please? If you mean waves exchange current bridges, I think more liquidity will be added. We will start to add more liquidity over the weekend, I guess. Yes. What will be the future of NSBT or SURF? As I explained a couple of times before, nothing changes for them. There is not going to be any more NSBT issued. And as for SURF, currently there is no issuance process for SURF either. And their functionality is not changing. They receive fees and they're used for governance. And also you need them to do swaps. If you want to redeem your index token into the treasury assets, you can do it through the smart contract. But to do that, you need to have some NSBT or SURF. And that creates some demand for them because you can sell on the free market, but also there is some like arbitrageurs who basically buy cheap XTN and then they do the swaps through the smart contract. And to do that, they need NSBT or SURF. And it creates demand actually. So I think NSBT and SURF should do fine. It all depends on how the index is doing, so but in any case, there is some like transaction volume which exists no matter how the index is doing, because people will still be doing swaps, withdrawals, redemptions, and to do that they require an SBT and SURF or both actually, because in terms of like swaps, they work the same. You can have either an SBT or SURF token to do swaps. So people will need those tokens. That creates utility, that creates demand. So in my opinion, everything is going to be fine with them. As for like withdrawals, guys, so all the questions are basically replied. So liquidity is added in batches and it is like processed in batches. Sometimes we need to make a pause. Sometimes it's like it's happening faster, but it's moving forward. Why don't you use Tron chain for USDT? I think we will actually. We will. I think the new bridges will support Tron. I don't have anything against Tron, actually. Are you aware of what's going on in the school Discord channel? They shut down the server. I'm not aware. Let me find out. Thank you for reporting this. Would your vote hold the same weight as a normal holder's vote? Just confirming. Of course, so it's all based. I don't have that many tokens, guys. Add new coins to the platform, please. Absolutely. Ways.exchange will effectively relaunch with the new bridges as WX.network. And there's going to be more tokens, and it's going to be basically not a new platform, but I think a renewed platform, so when VIP 29 can withdraw. I'm a regular user and want my money back too. So first we allow like smaller accounts to withdraw. And I think after we start adding new treasury assets as a donation, we will start slowly allowing larger accounts to withdraw, because above 250K. So yeah, this is what it is, guys, unfortunately. Is everything good? Are you sick? How are you? Are you okay? Why am I sick, guys? You're always asking the same question. I'm always okay, guys. Okay. I'm always fine. Will you add more coins on Wax? Absolutely. When Abid will have a decision about the waves, you should ask them, I guess, because I think everything's going to be fine after the Binance has removed the warning. At least we are doing our best, so we don't want to have any kind of like argument or some kind of like beef with centralized exchanges. Although I'm not a fan, but it's a matter of maybe like some kind of like personal communication, so maybe I don't like centralized exchanges in general, but it doesn't mean that I won't talk to some people from centralized exchanges, so we are doing our best to make sure that Upbit is okay with waves again. Sorry, I have to find some like electricity here. Yeah. It's not working somehow. Wait a bit, guys. I'm sorry. I have to find a working socket. Yeah, I'm sorry. Weird. Okay, let me just try another one. It doesn't work either. So, okay, let's find something else. Or maybe something wrong with my labs. I don't know. Okay, let's move on. I still have 10%. No, I'm not in Dubai. I'm in Switzerland now. Guys, as for the withdrawals, thank you for all the reminders, and I really want to apologize. And everything is going to be processed, and a lot of people message me on Telegram, and I'm doing my best to prioritize their withdrawals. So please bear with us, and you can always reach out to me, and I'll do my best to help you out. Talk about WX tokens here. So there is like update to the tokenomics, which will make boosting more efficient. It's going to happen in February. And in general, the tokenomics should become like more tight, meaning that there is less tokens which are issued, and there is more utility to them. So we need to make sure that WX token is going to do fine, because it's very important, not only for WX, but also for the new index token, because a part of its treasury is WX. Aztec, hi Aztec, our Turkish influencer is asking when team will start adding tokens to extend index. Yeah, I replied to that question. I think it will start happening around mid-February because there is some coding to be made to enable that. Again, a lot of questions about the bridges. Guys, please bear with us. We add liquidity, new bridges are coming, and the situation is moving forward. So please be patient. Has there been any development about the email I sent about the Southern Waves lottery? Actually, I mentioned that a couple minutes ago. I think we'll do that this time the way we did before. This is going to be the last time. And then I'll come up with some other idea, I think, next week. When egg $1,000? Interesting question. Let's see how our proposals and improvements that I mentioned with the new mechanics for the current game, and after that with the duck hunt, how they will be working. I think everything is possible. How much longer after WCT airdrop will Waves holders receive power? I think it's a matter of a week or two. Why prioritize people who have access to your Telegram? No, if you reach out to me with some identification of your transfer, obviously it's easier to help. So how is going development on Waves 2.0? Yeah, there is a new release for Waves, for the current Waves, and we need to fix some bug for some Ethereum thing that was Ethereum cryptography on Waves. And at the same time, Waves 2.0 is being developed. So we have the concept, light paper. We have to because there is different parts of it, we have to somehow compile it all together. And it will be done. A lot of other things actually prevent me from doing that. But conceptually there, so we just need to actually compile it in one white paper and publish it. And the development has already started. We will join the West AMA next week. I'm not so sure actually, but maybe I will. But I must tell you that there's going to be progress in all Waves core projects, including West, and West is very important because it's our enterprise department, and we have had a lot of working projects, big projects in our enterprise unit, and now we just need to scale. So it's very important, and we do have a plan regarding this. So maybe I should participate in the AMA to maybe discuss in more detail with the community. What about WX pools? Why don't you add XTN to pools? No, it's there actually, because USDN was in the pools and now there's XTN. Waves Army Philippines. Hi guys. Hello Philippines. Okay, I'll pick some questions from the list. The community is confused on which formula the power airdrop will be used. It was stated in the article that a quadratic formula will be used. Yes, sorry, it's like a misunderstanding. So it's a square root, obviously. Yes, my bad, probably. We just kind of missed that. The idea is to not prioritize the whales. No, in order to do that, you need a square root formula. So it's going to be a square root. Sorry for this misunderstanding. Will there be any use case for WCT after the power airdrop? I think other airdrops actually, so because WCT is like held by some OGs and by very old with community members. So probably, guys, for the new projects, it makes sense to drop some tokens to those guys. Can you explain what happens when gateways don't have liquidity? So there is some kind of like outstanding payments that have to be made to shut them down. I mean, not really shut them down, but somehow like move on to the new bridges, because both of them will work in parallel, old ones and the new ones. And there was a very high withdrawal pressure during the last year. I think it was like around $600 million that have been withdrawn from Waves Exchange. So we need to make some kind of audit, so we add liquidity in batches and we release those like withdrawals in batches. How does Wave Exchange compare to other decentralized exchanges and blockchain platforms in terms of security and user experience? I think actually we can discuss what was there before, but because it was launched in 2017, long ago. It was an order book DEX since 2017. But the future, I think, is the following. Basically, it should become a major spot decentralized exchange, which is similar in functionality to centralized exchanges in terms of like user experience. There is order books. There can be like limit orders. Also, we will add stop market orders. But at the same time, there is some kind of like DeFi DEX functionality, such as pools. So it's some kind of combination. It's a DEX, but it combines the best of the both worlds, centralized exchanges and DEXs. And we will focus on spot, I think, because I think it's very, so to say, like, no, it's obviously important. As for like derivatives markets, I think there are some platforms that are doing that pretty well. We will have derivatives, but the focus will be on spot. It will be good actually to create a spot DEX with order books and with liquidity pools. It should become more interchain, of course. So there's going to be integration with more chains. And the process to deposit your liquidity from other chains should become more streamlined. But the goal is to create the spot DEX, basically, so different from Uniswap. It's like a different approach because it's not all on chain. It's some kind of like similar to, for example, DYDX, because not all the transactions are on chain, only like settlement transactions. Eventually, I think WX.network can use its own L2 chain. For now, it's not really needed because currently we scan support the transaction volume. But if it becomes too big, a separate L2 can be launched. So our goal, yeah, is to become like major spot DEX, because spot liquidity is like the most important liquidity. All the other liquidity, derivatives, futures, options, they're like derivative, liquidity. How can I apply to the ambassador program? The application form is on waves.tech website. In the footer, I guess there is, because I posted on Twitter, and we should maybe make it more like obvious how you can apply. So we should make it more like prominent on our website, but you can still find it, and it's in the footer. Click on the ambassador program. There is an application form you need to fill out. We have a lot of ambassadors, and ambassador program is launching. It's a very good moment to join Waves, because Waves is basically relaunching now, guys. We are a very old chain, one of the oldest, but now we're like kind of turning a page, So we have a lot of experience, and we have seen a lot of things. And I think it's a very good moment to join Waves, because, as I said, we are effectively starting from scratch. But we have a lot of experience at the same time. So it's going to be fun. Join us. What are the main challenges faced by the Waves platform, and how were these addressed and resolved? As you know, we had a very difficult year. There has been a lot of FUD, a lot of attacks on Waves from different parties. We have been struggling for the whole year, and it's still not resolved, but it's getting better and better each day. And we will prevail, because nothing can kill us. Back to chat questions. How long will it take to get my 300K back from Virus? I deposited USDC, now have USDN, and they will be changed now to WXT. It's not changed, it's just like rebranding. That helped us to, for example, remove the warning from Binance. At the moment, so because yes, so we will. You have 300K, and the limit for legacy is 250. So this is a problem. So I think we will start increasing those limits, and we will include more accounts into vesting soon. And when it will be resolved, we are doing our best to resolve it as fast as possible. So, but not everything depends on myself or on other team members. There is some kind of like market situation that affects Waves as well. But in any case, even if the market situation is not good, it doesn't mean that we will say that, okay, market is bad and we can't resolve this. No, it will be resolved irrespective of the market situation. But if the situation is good, it will be resolved faster. When Waves 2.0 will be launched, I think we will have it this summer. Any updates on Virus? I talked about Virus for quite a while. So guys, so before I forget and before my laptop is dead, we have to select the winner. And as I said, we are doing this the old way, like one last time, basically, yeah? So I just type with army, and I need to there is like, yes, okay. Okay, so the winner of our last contest is on top again. But I think that he won't be too offended if we skip him this time. Yes, hi, nice to see you. And we will give the prize to the next tweet. Let me make a screenshot. Yeah. So it's another guy, no, he's Dutch. Yeah. I mean, like, uh, he messaged me, so, and I think I met him personally. So it's always nice to see some like familiar faces, but it doesn't mean that there's some kind of like nepotism here or some kind of like manipulation or uh, some kind of like rigging of the contest results. No, he's just been active. That's it. I posted on Twitter, so please, Jiren, the grayscale, message me with your address. And the guy on top, hi, my friend, you won last week. Okay, so I hope that it's okay if you just like pass on this contest this time, and you will like give your prize to the next guy below you. Oh yeah. So if you have problems with it, just tell me, because I think if we give you this prize 2 times in a row, people will start asking questions. And probably this Twitter algo is not optimal indeed, so okay, so a couple more questions, and I think my laptop is gonna turn off somehow. It's not charging for some reason. I don't know why. But actually it's 1 hour already, so it's okay. So maybe I should just summarize what we will have next week. Yeah, to wrap it up. So next week we will have power snapshot and most probably the first stage of the airdrop of power token. We will move on with the bridges. New bridges are being like tested and integrated now. We will make sure that all those like stuck transactions are being processed in the old bridges. What else? It will be happening next week. Like big things. What else? Power virus. Actually, we will probably clean it up a little, but virus will be like properly relaunched with the new bridges, I guess. Ducks are moving forward because they have to moving forward with their like existing plans because they have to implement the things they have promised to the community first. But we have a plan to actually breathe a new life in a very like efficient and like cheap. I mean, cheap in terms of like marketing budgets way, so maybe that plan is like better suited to the current market situation. At the same time, Duck Hunt will be developed further. Yes, and actually a lot of other things. Maybe we will come up with some like other ideas regarding Waves 2.0 because I have some ideas that I'm discussing with the team that like built upon the things that we have already started building, so there is some very nice ideas with zero knowledge proofs, with ZK protocols, which we would like to pursue. Maybe we will publish something, at least I will post something, some kind of like short description, what that could be next week. Yes, and I'm very excited about the power launch, guys, because what will happen after that, we will be launching Waves DAO. And that should actually turn things around for Waves. And it should be a game changer, so because there is going to be like 10 times as much activity on Waves, 10 times as more projects on Waves after we have launched Waves DAO. So I'm really excited and I really can't wait. And I really want you to feel excited as well, because this is what can make Waves great. I'm not saying again, I'm just saying great, so yeah, so a lot of things are coming. Also next week, they're starting to happen. Please stay tuned. All the problems are being resolved. There's a lot of new things that are very interesting in their own right, but they also will help us resolve those problems faster. So a lot of action is coming, and I think it's a very good moment to join Waves, guys. If you're new to Waves, join our ambassador program, start following our social media, because there is a great year ahead of us. Ride on Waves, power to the people. Have a nice week. See you next Friday.